Now that our level is in place, let's handle collisions between the player and the walls. We start by selecting the player tank sprite. We're going to update the movement controls, both for rotation and forward-backward motion, to check for collisions with walls. Let's begin with rotation. Under the left arrow key, after turning counterclockwise, we check. If touching solid wall or brittle wall, then turn clockwise by the same amount, basically undoing the rotation. For the right arrow key, after turning clockwise, we do the same thing in reverse. If touching wall, turn counterclockwise to cancel the turn. Now let's handle moving forward and backward. That's the W and S keys. When a player moves forward, we check if it's touching solid or brittle bricks. If it is, we move the tank backward by the same number of steps, canceling the movement. When moving backward, we do the opposite. If the tank touches a wall while moving backward, we move it forward again by the same number of steps. This way, the tank doesn't get stuck inside a wall or pass through it. It simply stops moving when blocked. Now let's improve the enemy tank's collision system. Previously, we only checked for collisions with the edge of the stage, but now that our level has solid and brittle walls, we need to update that. First, go to the enemy sprite. Inside the Clone's Forever loop, locate the current if block that checks if the enemy is touching the edge. We're going to replace this with an if-else block for more flexibility. Check if touching solid wall or brittle wall. If true, move backward by 12 steps using move -12 steps. Then turn right at a random angle between 15 and 250 degrees. Finally, wait 0.2 seconds. This is the same bounce-off behavior we had before, but now it includes wall detection. In the else part, this is where we add some variation in movement to make the AI feel less predictable. First, generate a random number between 1 and 50. If the number equals 1, then turn left or right by a random angle between -45 and 45 degrees. This gives the enemy a small chance to turn slightly, even if it didn't hit anything, creating that wandering AI effect. Then finally, outside the conditional, we use a move block. Instead of moving 1 step, we change this to move 0.3 steps. This slows down the enemy and makes its movement more realistic. Before we get the player or the enemy moving, we need to make sure that the level is fully built first. Right now, both the player and the enemy start running as soon as the green flag is clicked. But this creates a problem. They might appear before the bricks and layout are ready. So here's how we fix that. Let's go to the Builder sprite. At the very end of the layout process, after all the bricks have been placed, we broadcast a message. We call this message Message 1. This will signal that the level is ready. Now we go to the enemy. Currently, the enemy uses the green flag to hide and then immediately creates a clone of itself. But we don't want that. We want the enemy to wait for the level to be ready. So we replace when green flag clicked with when I receive message 1. Inside that block, we create the clone of the enemy. Now the enemy only appears after the level is fully built. We do the same thing for the player tank. Right now, the player appears immediately when the game starts. So we go to the player sprite. Under when green flag clicked, we add the hide block. Then inside that block, we show the player. And from there, we run the rest of the logic. movement, shooting, and everything else. This way, the player and the enemy both wait until the level is complete before doing anything. It keeps everything in sync and makes sure the game starts smoothly. Now, let's handle bullet collisions. We're going to start with the enemy sprite. Inside the enemy's forever loop, we add a new condition at the top. We check if the enemy is touching the player's bullet. If it is, then we switch to the hit costume. Then we wait. We hide the enemy. And we stop this script. Next, we need to make sure the enemy doesn't keep firing bullets after it's been hit. So we create a new variable called isHit. This variable should be for this sprite only. When the clone of the enemy starts, we set isHit to false. Then later, when the enemy fires a bullet, we add a condition before the bullet is created. We check if isHit is false. If it is, then we go ahead and create the bullet clone. But if isHit is true, we skip firing. That's because a destroyed enemy shouldn't be shooting anymore.